She told me it was girls' night dinner, drinks, maybe a movie. I didn't question it. I kissed her forehead, told her to have fun, but 2 hours later her friend called me in tears. And everything I believed about love shattered in that one voicemail. My name's Connor. I'm 30, work in IT support for a small law firm in St. Louis. I've always been the kind of guy who double checks if the stove is off and keeps a rain jacket in the trunk just in case. I'm not flashy, I don't party, I like routine. I like loyalty. And maybe that's why I fell so hard for Lauren. She was everything I wasn't. Funny in a loud way. The type who danced while cooking pasta, who didn't just talk to strangers, she made them feel like friends. She wore combat boots with floral dresses and drank espresso martinis like water. We met at a trivia night at a brewery. My team lost. Miserably. She came over, teased me for not knowing the capital of Montana, and bought me a beer anyway. 6 months later, we were living together. That's how Lauren moved fast, fearless, full speed ahead. And I went with her, because damn if she didn't make life feel electric. We got an apartment just outside the Grove's second-floor walk-up, squeaky floorboards, shared balcony with a view of nothing special. But it was ours. We had this thing. Every Friday night was our staying date. Frozen pizza, a new movie, phone on silent. Even when work was insane, we kept that sacred. For the first year and a half, everything felt good. Not perfect, but real. We split rent evenly. What took turns walking her dog, Cupra, chaotic beagle with a shoe fetish? We had a shared Spotify. Playlists for road trips, a joint Venmo tab we used for groceries, and a Google Calendar that mapped out everything from friend birthdays to dentist appointments. We even had a running joke. Every time someone asked, "When are you getting married?" we'd say, "We're still auditioning each other." But looking back, I realized now I was the only one still showing up to rehearsal. It started small, the late replies, the forgot to text back moments, the nights she came home a little too quiet or a little too made up, smelling like perfume she didn't wear for me. I brushed it off. She was stressed. Work deadlines. Family drama. I told myself not to be paranoid. Then came the girls' nights. It started happening once every 2 weeks, then every week, and sometimes twice a week. Me and Tasha need a night out. Just the girls, margaritas. No boys allowed. I'd smile, say have fun, order in some wings. Watch the Cardinals game alone. But each time, I noticed the same thing. No Instagram stories, no selfies, just silence until she came home, sometimes well past midnight. The worst part? I wanted to believe her. I wanted so badly for it to just be me, overthinking. I kept telling myself this is what trust looks like. You give her space. Until one night, when Lauren was out on yet another girls' night, I got a call. It was from Tasha, and she was crying. "Connor, I don't know how to say this, but I can't be part of the lie anymore." Tasha's voice cracked through the phone like a match being struck in a pitch-black room. "Connor," she said again, "I didn't want to be the one to tell you. I thought maybe she'd come clean. But she hasn't, and I can't keep covering for her anymore." I didn't say anything at first. I just sat there on the edge of our couch, staring at the untouched pizza on the coffee table. The smell of garlic and pepperoni suddenly made me nauseous. "She's not with us," Tasha continued. "She hasn't been for a while. Few girls' nights, we weren't even invited. She said she needed us as an alibi, that you trusted me so it'd work better." My mouth went dry. I was shaking, but not from anger yet. It was disbelief, a hollow kind of disbelief. Because even though I'd suspected, even though I'd felt something was wrong, hearing the words out loud made it real in a way I wasn't. "Prepared for who?" I finally whispered. I wasn't ready, but I asked anyway. Tasha hesitated. "His name's Drew. He's one of her coworkers. They've been seeing each other for a couple months. At least that's what I know." "So sorry, Connor." I hung up without saying anything else. I sat there for almost 2 hours, just listening to the low hum of our refrigerator and Cooper's soft breathing beside me. Then I got up, walked to her side of the closet, and opened the drawer where she kept her backup phone, the one she said she never used anymore. Guess what? Wasn't dead. Passcode was still our anniversary day idiot move. Inside were a handful of recent texts from a number not saved as a contact. Same hotel as last time? Can't stop thinking about Sunday. Where the red one, my vision blurred. I scrolled through photos. There was one taken in a mirror I didn't recognize. Wearing lingerie I never bought her. Another with a half-empty wine bottle and 2 glasses, her legs on a hotel bed. She'd taken the photo. But the reflection showed enough of a man's arm to confirm everything Tasha had said. I didn't cry. I didn't even rage. I just felt this enormous weight. And then came the manipulation. When she got home that night, around 1:30 a.m., claiming they got dessert and got caught up talking, I played along. I smiled, kissed her forehead. She smelled different, just not us. The next morning, I sat at the kitchen table while she made coffee. Everything okay? She asked, not looking at me. Yeah, I lied. She started overcompensating, suddenly texting more. Bringing home donuts from the shop I liked near my office, sending selfies again like she used 2 close-ups of her face, smiling in her car. But they all felt like costumes now, like she was trying to wear the mask of the woman I fell in love with. Without realizing I already saw the crack in it, I started noticing more. Venmo transactions marked as brunch sent to names I didn't recognize. Her makeup bag packed on days she said she was working late. And one day, I found a hotel rewards card in her coat pocket. She said it was from a client event. I nodded. Every time I caught her in a lie. I'd watch how effortlessly she spun her web, how quickly she turned it around to make me feel guilty. Why are you acting so paranoid? You don't trust me anymore? Are you trying to ruin us over nothing? Started doubting myself again, started wondering if maybe I was the problem, and that's how they get you. That's how cheaters win. They make you question your own sanity until you're too numb to fight back. But I wasn't done yet. Started documenting everything. Screenshots, voice memos, spreadsheet, even bought a cheap second phone and used it to photograph her texts and receipts when she wasn't looking. I turned into a detective with a broken heart. I stopped being her boyfriend and started being her quiet shadow until I was ready. I didn't confront her. I didn't scream. I didn't throw her phone across the room or send angry texts to Drew. That would have given her power. It would have made me the unstable one in her story. Instead, I played the long game. I waited 3 more weeks. I smiled when she said she had another girls' night. I kissed her goodbye when she left wearing that deep green dress, the one she used to wear for me. I fed Cooper, did the dishes, and then sent one message. Just one to Drew. Hey, I'm Lauren's boyfriend. Thought you should know I exist. 10 minutes later, he replied, Who is this? I sent him the screenshots. Every last one. Texts to hotel receipts to the photo of her in the mirror, the one with his reflection. I ended it with, I'm not mad at you. She lied to both of us. I just think you deserve to know. His typing bubble showed up and disappeared 3 times before I got one final message. I had no idea. I'm sorry. Then I blocked him. He wasn't my focus. Lauren was. That Friday, I took the day off work. I packed her things into 3 boxes: clothes, makeup, and random keepsakes she'd littered through our apartment. I left out the red heels she always wore when she went to brunch. I placed them on top of the last box like a trophy. Then I logged into our shared iCloud account. I'd already known her passwords. Lauren reused them like clockwork. I airdropped every incriminating photo and video from her hidden album to her own MacBook. Created a folder on her desktop called Proof. Then I changed the lock on the apartment. Sent her a message around 3 p.m. Hey, just a heads up, sure stuff's boxed up in the hallway. Change the locks. You don't live here anymore. She replied in seconds. WTF are you talking about? I didn't answer. Instead, I sent her a photo of the 3 boxes. Then a screenshot of her proof folder. And finally, the last thing I'd saved for that perfect, jaw-dropping moment, an email forward from her boss. Because you see, I wasn't just keeping track of the affair. I'd also gathered screenshots of work messages she'd sent to Drew, flirty, explicit, and sent during billable client hours on company devices. and Lauren worked in PR, the kind of company where image is everything. I sent her boss an anonymous tip. No explanation, just the subject line. Thought you should know how your staff spends your time. With the attachments? That same afternoon, her company began an internal investigation. By Monday, she was placed on leave. 2 weeks later, she was let go violation of company conduct. And I wasn't done yet, because the last move, the one she never saw coming, was Tasha. You remember Tasha, the friend who broke the news to me? Turns out we had a lot in common, more than either of us realized. She started dropping by checking on me, making sure I was eating, walking Cooper when I couldn't get out of bed. We didn't force it, didn't plan it. But when I looked at her one evening and saw someone who'd chosen truth over loyalty to a liar, something clicked. The next time Lauren tried to call, sobbing, begging to talk, answered, I put the phone on speaker and let her hear Tasha's voice in the background, laughing softly while we watched a movie. She screamed, cursed us both, and hung up. She never called again. After the call ended, silence filled the room. It's not the kind that's awkward or tense. The kind that feels like finally exhaling after you've been holding your breath for months. Tasha muted the TV. You okay? I nodded, but I wasn't sure if it was true. You don't just go through something like that and walk away whole. You walk away in pieces. Maybe, just maybe. You figure out how to fit them back together differently. Lauren didn't show up at the apartment again. She texted once more the next week, something long and rambling, half apology, half blame, full of emotional landmines like, I never meant to hurt you. You shut down emotionally, and I didn't know how to talk to you anymore. You and Tasha, really? After everything? I didn't reply. There wasn't anything left to say. She moved in with a cousin across town for a bit, from what I heard. Then tried to start over a new apartment, new job, new life. But St. Louis isn't that big. Word spreads. And when your entire industry is based on trust and image. Being the woman who got fired over explicit DMs and a cheating scandal tends to follow you. A mutual friend told me she tried dating again, but nothing stuck. Apparently she made a couple of dramatic eye-changed posts on Instagram that quietly disappeared a few weeks later. As for me, I unraveled for a bit. Not in the dramatic, crying in the street way. In the quieter ways. I deleted our playlists. I started sleeping on the opposite side of the bed, the side she never used, because mine smelled too much like her. I started therapy. Once a week, every Tuesday at 5. My therapist was this older guy named Greg. Baldingglasses.com voice. He didn't give advice so much as hand me mirrors until I started seeing myself more clearly. He asked me once, do you think you lost her? Or do you think you lost the idea of who she was? That one hit. Because the truth is I was mourning someone who never fully existed. I'd built a fantasy out of the good moments, the spontaneous date nights, the I love you whispered over pancakes. But the real Lauren, the one who lied, who cheated, who gaslit me into thinking I was losing my mind, that Lauren had been living right beside me all along. It took a while, but I stopped flinching every time my phone buzzed. I stopped wondering if the next woman I meet would cheat too. Learned how to be alone again, and how to be okay with that. And Tasha. We didn't rush anything. It started slow shared walks with Cooper. Dinners without expectation. Conversations that felt like exhaling. We knew the optics were messy. But what we had wasn't born from revenge. It was born from honesty. Two people who refused to keep lying for someone else's comfort. She told me once, I think I loved you a little bit, even when I wasn't supposed to. I believed her. Not because it sounded poetic, but because it didn't. It sounded true. It's been a year since the night Tasha called me. Lauren is just a memory, now a lesson wrapped in heartbreak. It's dressed in perfume that doesn't linger anymore. And me. I'm not the same guy who kept doubting his instincts just to hold on to someone. I'm slower, more cautious, more deliberate. But I'm also more honest with myself, with others. You can survive being lied to, can survive being cheated on, but what really breaks you is when you stop trusting your own gut. Now I listen. I pay attention to the silences between the words. And I know that love, real love, doesn't make you feel crazy. It makes you feel seen. Lauren once told me, girls' night is sacred. She was right, just not in the way she meant. Because that night Tasha called. It saved me. Turns out the best revenge is never needing to prove you were right. If you enjoyed my story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more real-life stories like this.